Hello guys, it is that time of the month when we're doing our monthly reset. These are just videos I like to do in order to keep myself accountable in hopes that I get one step closer to achieving my yearly goals. So for today, it is our July reset, which, oh my god, time is just going by so fast. Kind of hard to believe, but life goes on, I guess. So we're gonna be doing our June reflections, and since it's also our midway point, we're gonna be doing our quarter 3 / half of the year recap / reflections, where we're gonna go through all my goals and just see how I'm doing with achieving them. And then we're going to be doing our July goals to see how we can take what we learned and how I'm doing from last month and just the whole past 6 months, incorporate them into new goals and go from there. So hopefully this isn't a too long video, but we're going to just go ahead and get started. Here I have my June spread. I wrote down all my goals, and then we have the words that describe the month, which of course, like always, I will talk about once we see how I did. So for health and well-being, I said I would like to better my time management. This is something that I remember last month I was super scatterbrained and I felt like my mind was in 1,000 different directions, and I have this really bad habit of keeping all the things that I need to do in my mind. I never forget them. Like, that's not really my problem. It's just I feel like my brain only has so much space, so then when it's just full to the max, I get overwhelmed and anxious, and it doesn't look pretty. So I wanted to make a point to write this down, keep it out of my mind, so I can just kind of focus on other things instead of just storing information in my mind. So overall, I think I did a pretty good job at this. I have a Notion spread where I have my weekly to-do list, which I've been using, which is great. And also I've been just setting reminders on my phone more, which also helps. So I felt like I've been good and did not feel really scatterbrained, and felt like I needed to squish time and stay up late to do a bunch of things that I need to get done. And I've been waking up every day very aware of the things that I need to do. So that has been just really helpful in making sure that my mind has been more focused and not all over the place. So I can definitely check this one off. Continue doing yoga. Girl, I did not do that at all. I don't think I even did yoga once this month, and I'm not really too mad about it, just because the whole point of putting in yoga and all these other things is so that I can move my body more, and I moved my body in different ways. I've been going out and walking and doing different things. I feel like I'm just not at this moment in time the girly to go to the gym. I don't know, that's just not something that I feel like I need to do, but I do want to incorporate more physical activity in my life. So although I didn't really do yoga, I did other things. So I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. It doesn't really matter if it's yoga or doing something else. As long as I'm moving my body and I'm not just laying down and sitting down all the time, then I'm not mad about it. Incorporate vegetables in my diet. This is where I feel like I need to be more specific moving forward, because I did. For a lot of our meals, we had a salad on the side. We had a lot of vegetables in the salad, so it wasn't just lettuce. So I feel like in that regard, I could say that I did it, but I didn't do it all the time. So now I'm at this weird point where I'm I did it, but I also didn't do all the time. So it's kind of hard to measure in order to check this off. I'm gonna do it because I feel like I want to check something off. I did it, but I could have done better. But also I didn't really specify. I just was very broad. Technically I could incorporate it once in my diet, and I did it. But I feel like in the first 2 weeks I did it. The last 2 weeks not so much. So next time I definitely need to be more specific and have numbers to quantify this. The next one is post 4 videos with minimal anxiety. Honestly, I can check this off. I think this might even be my 5th video I post, depending if I get this up in June or July 1st. I don't know yet, but YouTube wasn't something that caused me anxiety at all this month. I was pretty good with that. I feel like I managed my anxiety pretty well, pero at the same time, I'm just an anxious person. I still had anxiety this month. For the longest time, I've been going to bed with anxiety and waking up with anxiety. That's just the way I am. So that sucks, but it really has nothing to do with this goal. But I feel like that's something I should probably learn to manage, or at least address, because I feel like even though I'm really happy YouTube wasn't a source of anxiety for me, I was still anxious about a lot of other stuff, or nothing at all, and I just feel anxious anyway. So your girl was still anxious as heck, but that's just how it is, I guess. I gotta probably work on that. So, and then the last one was consume Spanish content. I did not do this. I can't even really think of an excuse. I feel like my passion is there. I definitely want to be as fluent in Spanish as possible, but the discipline just isn't there. And I just think it's because I've been putting this down as a lazy goal. It's not something that I really dedicated a lot of time and effort into. And so moving forward, I want to do that. And similar to my vegetable goal, I need to be more specific, consume Spanish content. That's great. I could have watched one video this month and say, yep, I did it. But how many times a week? How many minutes? How many hours. Like, you know what I mean? I need to do that in order to actually feel confident and be like, yes, I checked this off, and incorporate all that into my time management, schedule times for that, and yada, yada, yada. All right, so words that describe this month. The first word I put was social, and I have been just a social butterfly this month, which is very unlike me. If you know me, I'm very introverted. I like to stay home. I like to just chill and not really go out and do adventurous things. That's not really who I am. But in the beginning of June, I went on a girls trip with my friends, and we went to Anna Marie Island, which is on the west side of Florida, and it's very beautiful. It has very clear water, lots of pretty seashells. Like, it was just a vibe. I really enjoyed that trip. We only stayed for 2 days. It was very hot though, which definitely sucked, but the water was really cool. So once you're in the water, you don't really feel the sun as much. Not so surprisingly, this was something that caused me anxiety, but like, I'm so glad I just like powered through it. Like, thinking about going on a girls trip or just getting out of my comfort zone, even if it's just for one night, it caused me a lot of anxiety, and it was something that stressed me out. I was like, oh, should I cancel? Should I not? But like, there would be no reason at all for me to cancel besides I'm just anxious. And it's weird that I still feel this way even with people I know. Like, they're not new to me. I really like my friends, but I guess just the simplest things can really just cause anxiety for me. So I'm glad that I pushed through and I did that. I also went to Disney. If you haven't seen my Disney vlog, go ahead and watch that. But I went to Disney for the weekend with my man, sister, and brother-in-law, which I don't know if I really consider that socializing because they're my family and they don't really cause anxiety the same way hanging out with friends would, but I'm still count it. And then I also went to see The Little Mermaid a different weekend. So I was just a social butterfly, which is very unlike me, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. And then I put focus because my time management was really good. Like I said, last month I was very scatterbrained. So the fact that I was very focused this month, I felt like every morning I woke up, knew exactly what I needed to do, and I didn't feel like I was scrambling for time or anything like that. So I felt very focused, or at least more focused than I was the previous month. And then the last word I put was excited. Not really gonna elaborate too much on this because I'm gonna talk probably more about it in my August reset, but I'm really excited for July. I'm not even gonna say there's a lot of fun things happening. There's literally just one thing that's happening in my life that's gonna be pretty like transformative for me. So I'm super excited for that, but I'll just talk more about that in our next reset. So that is what June was. So now we're gonna go ahead and look at my Pinterest, where I made my whole 2023 mood board, where I made it in the beginning of the year. Just talk about how I feel like I'm doing overall with my goals. On my homepage, I have like my very specific goals, but I don't know, I'm not really the type of person who shares a lot of my goals. I'm pretty private about that, but I like to share like the gist. I don't like going and sharing like specific goals, like, you know, I want this specifically to happen, but like I can tell you what it's like related to. So that is what my Pinterest is pretty much all about. So we're gonna head and take a look at that right now. Okay, so here's my Pinterest. If you're interested in looking at my Pinterest and all the things I'm interested in, it's always in the description box below. But here I have my 2023 goals, and the bottom I have books, embroidery, and like this art canvas there. And that really just symbolized hobbies and how I wanted to incorporate more hobbies into my life, because I felt like I was consuming a lot of different things and not focusing on myself, which I talk more about in my recent girl chat. So if you haven't seen that video, you should watch it. But yeah, I just wanted to read more, embroider, do art. These things that is something that I always loved doing and I wanted to connect more to, which honestly, if I go back to my Notion, I actually don't mind sharing this, but I said I wanted to read 15 books and I really did that. Honestly, looking back, not that many books, but I guess going from how little I was reading before, 15 sounded crazy, but I completed this goal in May. I can accurately say that I've been doing good with hobbies. I haven't painted or really embroidered much, but like I'm enjoying reading and I don't want to force myself to pause on read to embroider for the sake of doing it when I'm happy with my books. So there's that. Then going up, I have healthy foods and this picture of this yoga mat, and that of course is just health and fitness. I'm not doing terrible at. I feel like I'm still a lot better than I was when I wrote down this goal initially, but we could do better and we're gonna do better. We're gonna put more specific goals, write down exactly how many times a week I want to do this or eat this and yada yada yada. So I'm glad that it's like consciously in my mind. Like I know that I want to eat well and I know I want to move my body, but like the fact that it's not a routine, at least for exercise at this point, is sucky. And although I'm not really the type to go to the gym, that's not really a goal for me. I do want to be more active, so we gotta definitely do something about that. And then on top I have a camera, which honestly just symbolizes YouTube, and I have specific goals for YouTube, but like just in general, make YouTube a priority and something that I show up for, and I'm so consistent with it. 2022 I was not at all. I felt like I posted very sporadically, which wasn't a smart thing to do, but now I post pretty frequently. Sometimes there's like 2 days between uploads. Didn't write anywhere that I wanted to buy a camera, but it is something that I do want to do, but it's not like a goal, if that makes sense. And I technically can buy one right now, but I'm right now in my saving era, and you can tell from this quote, when you create a plan for your money, you're giving your money purpose. That's goes hand in hand. Like I could buy a camera, but right now I'm trying to save, and I'm being more conscious with my spending. I made a budget. I know how much I'm spending. Last year I didn't know at all how much I was spending. I was just spending willy-nilly, hoping that I'm good to go, but yeah, it wasn't the priority. I feel like I'm doing pretty good with that. And then travel. This picture, it was supposed to be like travel and family. Wanted to spend more time with my family, go on vacations with my family, and that's something that I did. It's funny because these pictures right here are kind of similar to the pictures that I took when I went on my cruise a couple months ago, which isn't a coincidence. Like I made this mood board already when the trip was planned, but it's still nice to see the similarities, I guess. It's not Bora Bora, but it's pretty nonetheless. So overall, this is my mood board. I feel like hobbies, I'm doing great. YouTube, I'm doing great. Money, I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. It probably will always be a work in progress. Health and fitness is probably the thing I need to work on the most and start going more hard on the most. Travel, I'm not like forcing any type of travel, but I am spending a lot of time with my family. I see them all the time. So definitely satisfied with my mood board and how that's going. Of course, it's not all my goals that I have. Like if you look at my goals on the side, I'm missing a few that I just don't feel like sharing. But for a half of the year midpoint, I don't feel too discouraged. I feel like I'm getting there, and I'm always conscious and making the effort to incorporate them into my life. And something too that is not crazy to think about, but it's a lot easier to complete goals that are fun for you. Like YouTube, I like filming, I like editing, I like talking to people in the comments. Like that's something that I look forward to, and it's something that is just nice for me to do in general. So it doesn't seem like, oh yeah, it's a goal I gotta like really kill myself over it and like work hard as heck to do, because it's still fun for me. Working out, not fun for me. It's not a coincidence that like I'm doing better with my YouTube goals than my fitness goals. Reading books, I love it. It's fun for me. It's a hobby. Is it a coincidence that I'm killing it in that aspect? No. I think I need to just discipline myself more, and maybe instead of being like, oh no, I really want to read right now, maybe I'm like, well, maybe you should go to the gym. Maybe you should work out. Maybe you should get off the couch. I need to start like doing that more. So now that quarter 3 is done, we are going to move our last 3 months and put it into the quarter 2 folder, start off quarter 3 July, and just make new goals. So hopefully we can get one step closer to achieving our yearly goals. All right, so let's go ahead. How do I do this again? Oh, okay, grab all this. I put it here. No, undo. Undo. I've got 42 right here. And then I mentioned this in my last one, but I wanted to make like a whole like tracker or something in these quarter pages and write down things that I need to focus on and stuff like that. But I didn't do it for quarter 1 or 2, which is really annoying of me. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I definitely need to do that. At the same time, now that we're talking about July, I'm going to take the things that I recognize from the last few months and put it in this. So I guess it's not necessarily necessary, but yeah, this is July right here. We got to change our picture. I think I don't know, I'm just like a beachy girl, guys. Like I don't know, like it's hard for me to pick a picture and not make it about the beach. So let's see. I'm not gonna change myself. We're gonna go beachy again. Okay, so this is my July spread. Honestly, like I was thinking about maybe, you know, making new goals, but like I feel like because last month was kind of a flop in some ways, I kind of want to take those goals and then just make it more specific. For this one, I thought it would be good to write do yoga 2 times a week, go and walk 2 times a week, and incorporate vegetables 1 meal a week. So for yoga and going on a walk, this is one of those goals where I don't feel like it's that dire for me. Like let's say I don't do yoga at all and I go on 4 walks a week, then I'm not mad about it. It's like subject to change. It's not that deep if I don't do it exactly like this, but I think it would be just good for me in order to continue with my time management and plan for the week that I have like a set number. Also, I used to be super good at taking my walks, but it's been raining and it's been super hot. So like if it's like that, then we'll just incorporate a different exercise in replace of that. So that's what we're gonna do for that. And then for incorporate vegetables, I was thinking like, oh, at least 1 meal a day, but I felt like that might be a little bit like setting myself up for failure. I don't know why I'm so bad with vegetables, guys. I'm like a kid, and it's not even that I don't like vegetables. It's just like I love carbs and like not nutrient dense carbs. I love a good spinach. I love a good broccoli, but I just need to like cook my main meal and then just cook a vegetable with it on the side. Like if I had a chef and they were making me vegetables, I would be good. Like I would be eating that up, but I don't. And I just forget. And I don't know why I just forget vegetables are even a thing. That's my problem. So I just said 1 meal a week. And 1 meal a week, I mean like one recipe. So when I cook, it should last a couple days. And for those couple days, I should be eating vegetables. So that's what we're gonna do for health and wellness. So for the next one, I went ahead and I did language. And I thought it would be good to be more specific as always. So I put consume Spanish content 2 times a week for 30 minutes each. So what I was doing before was just not making any sense. Like, oh, consume Spanish content. What the heck does that mean? And for how long? Like I could literally do a Duolingo lesson that's 5 minutes. Did I really learn all that much? Probably not. So I think it would be good to start small, 2 times a week, 30 minutes each. That's an hour a week of Spanish content, and hopefully go from there and increase it. I already know from the beginning, like Spanish was something I didn't care to focus too much on in Q1. I wanted to dabble in Q2, but we're in Q3 now. If we're gonna hit our actual Spanish goals, we need to be more specific with it. So it's not gonna cut it if I'm doing the same thing and not being specific about it. Like I don't mind copying old goals, but like if I'm doing the same thing and expecting a different result, like what the heck is wrong with me? So that is what we're gonna do for language. For the last focus, I don't really know what to do for that one. I'm thinking maybe about like my anxiety, but like I don't even know where to start, if I'm being quite honest. Yeah, like I don't even know where to start with that. Like, hey, I know I have anxiety, but like I've been doing this for a long time. Actually, no, I know. Oh, that actually reminds me, and we're gonna go back to health and wellness. I need to go to the doctor. So we're gonna go ahead and write that down. Like I have anxiety, I'm like, oh, maybe I should go to a doctor. But no, for real. I have been procrastinating getting my physical done, getting my lab work done, getting probably some shots done. Like I need to go to the doctor, and I've been procrastinating this, and it's something that's super important. And it doesn't really matter if I am doing all these extra health things, but like if I have something in my body right now that's about to kill me, I should probably get that checked out. So this is your reminder to go to the doctor if you have not gone to the doctor, because like what are you doing? So I wrote that down. Let me make sure I go to the doctor, and maybe I can talk to them about my anxiety. Like I've been doing therapy on and off for the past few years, but I don't know, even when I was doing that, I still had anxiety when I first woke up. So I don't know what it is that I can do. Maybe yoga, journal, meditation, pray, or like I don't know what it is. So even though technically this is health and wellness, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this as a whole like separate thing, just so it stands out. I just went ahead and wrote experiment with anxiety management, just because like I can't say like, oh, cure my anxiety or stop being anxious. I just want to try different things to help. I be going to sleep with crazy thoughts, and I try to suppress it as much as I can, but I just feel like, you know, internally she's still raging, so hence why I wake up with anxiety. So I'm gonna try my best to experiment with the things I did, and hopefully by the end of the month I can come back with some type of results or things that I learned and know what maybe doesn't work, even if I can't say what does, and go from there. If you have any tips, let me know. But that is what I am hopeful for July. This isn't anything crazy. I don't think I really added anything super new except maybe go to the doctor, because I feel like I'm gonna be all over the place with July. So I think that is all that we're gonna be doing for today. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I love it when I get some type of feedback from everybody, so I know what kind of videos I should continue posting. Also, in case you didn't know, I have a girl chat form in my description now, so if you guys want to ask me questions, advice, or anything, it could be about a situation you have, a question about something that you would like my own opinion about, something about me, if that's interesting at all, then leave it down in the description, because I have a form that you can ask me whatever you want. Yeah, I'll be hopefully answering a few of them in my next girl chat, so if you'd like to know the answer to that, there's a place for that. So yeah, stay tuned for my next video that should be up pretty soon, and other than that, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.